Frogs and Toads, written by Kara Freed. I found a frog. Have you ever seen an unusual animal in nature? Did you want to learn more about it? Last week I saw a really neat frog, and that was the start of a wonderful adventure. What does a frog say when it sees something great? Totally awesome. I looked for the frog in a book called A Field Guide. I started looking through the pictures in the book. I was amazed to see all the different kinds of frogs and toads. It turns out I saw a wood frog. Do you know there are almost 5,000 kinds of frogs and toads? The biggest one is as big as a dinner plate. One of the smallest is a Brazilian gold frog. Its real size is shown here. I wanted to know more, so I went to the internet. Do you know frogs and toads are relatives of newts and salamanders? They are amphibians, which means they live part of their life in water and part on land. Amphibians are cold-blooded animals. They don't make their own body heat. They get warmth from the heat of the sun. Life cycle. I also learned that most frogs and toads lay jelly-covered eggs in water. The babies that are hatched are called tadpoles and look like little fish. Tadpoles breathe with gills just like fish, and they live in water, but it's amazing what happens as they grow. Their gills disappear and they grow lungs so they can breathe air like other land animals. They grow legs and then arms. Later their tail shrinks. By the time their tail is gone, they move onto land. I saw some very cool photos of the life cycle of frogs and toads. About frogs. Frogs are famous for their ability to leap with their long, strong back legs. They leap to catch insects and other prey. A frog can catch an insect in an instant with its long, sticky tongue. Why are frogs so good at baseball? Because they catch a lot of flies. The eyes and nostrils of a frog are on the top of its head. Frogs can see, smell, and breathe while they're mostly underwater. In fact, they breathe through their skin while they're underwater. Frogs can make an amazing amount of noise. Male frogs sing loudly to attract a mate. Do you know male frogs use throat pouches to sing? Some male frogs have one throat pouch and others have two. What has more lives than a cat? A frog. It croaks every night. Do you know the differences between frogs and toads? Here's what I learned from a book at the library. Frogs, toads, smooth or slimy skin, dry bumpy skin, live in wet places, live in dry places, long strong back legs, short back legs for leaping, webbed feet most, no webbing on feet, laying eggs in groups, lay eggs in long chains. Defenses. I was sad to learn that frogs and toads are food for many other animals. Bats, snakes, birds and rodents all hunt them. But frogs and toads have clever ways to stay safe from animals that might try to eat them. What happens when frogs park illegally? They get towed away. Some frogs and toads, like the wood frog I saw, are the same colour as their habitat. This is called blending in. It always allows them to hide better from predators. Some kinds of frogs are so poisonous that just touching their skin is deadly. These frogs are brightly coloured to warn predators to stay away. Do you know one golden poison frog contains enough poison to kill 10 people or 20,000 mice? This frog is one of the most poisonous animals on Earth. Some frogs try to trick predators that might want to eat them. The tomato frog puffs up like a balloon when a snake gets near. The snake thinks the frog is too big to eat. If the snake tries to eat it anyway, the frog leaks a liquid like glue from its skin. Frogs are cruel. Frogs and toads come in many shapes, sizes and colours. You can find them in trees, in or near water and on the ground. One thing is true about all of them, they're amazing animals. What kinds of frogs have you seen? Why are frogs so happy? They eat whatever bugs them. Glossary. Ability, a skill or talent. Field guide, a book that helps people identify living things in nature. Habitat, an environment in which an animal lives in. Predators, animals that hunt and eat other animals. Prey, animals that are food for predators. Rodents, mice and their cousins.